a lot of good games going on.
It's a lot. It's going to be hard to get them on stream. It's not a lot.
It's not a tough out today. Excuse me, not an easy out.
What are you shooting with?
They said, we cannot talk to you right now, get back, and I did. That's whenever we walked down to, he was so scared. He ran out of his shoes. He didn't even have shoes on.
A gunman opened fire at a video game tournament in Jacksonville, Florida Sunday, killing at least 4 people and wounding 10 others. The Jacksonville Sheriff's Office said the suspect, a white male, was dead at the scene. Emergency crews flooded the Jacksonville Landing, a waterfront dining and shopping site downtown, which has now been cleared. The shooting happened during a regional qualifier for the Madden 19 online game tournament. The tournament was being live-streamed when shots rang out.
So here's what we know. So this afternoon there was a Madden 19 tournament event at Chicago Pizza at the Jacksonville Landing. At 1:34 p.m., 911 calls came in stating that people had been shot inside the Chicago Pizza. 2 minutes later, at 1:36, officers were on scene at Chicago Pizza inside the landing. So there were 3 deceased individuals at the scene, one of those being the suspect who took his own life. There were 9 victims transported by JFRD to area hospitals. 7 of those had gunshot wounds. In addition, there were 2 additional gunshot victims that self-transported themselves to local hospitals. I'm happy to report that they are all in stable condition at this time. The single suspect in this case is a white male, and this is pending confirmation, but we believe the suspect to be 24-year-old David Katz from Baltimore, Maryland. And the FBI is assisting us with that leg of the investigation in Baltimore. So we know that the suspect used at least one handgun to commit this act, and we are working again with our partners at ATF on that aspect of the investigation.
Hello everybody, and welcome to the Wake Up Report. And really, you get your ass kicked playing Madden at a video game tournament and you decide to shoot the place up. Really? Another domestic terrorist has struck again. The details are still kind of sketchy with this story. Other than being described as a lone white male, there haven't been too many details released on exactly who this person is, and I hope it was more than just losing a Madden video game tournament. According to this is out of Jacksonville, Florida. They have the whatever video game tournament that they have there every year, and this person attended. A video game programmer himself. You would seem if you could make way more money inventing your own video games than showing up at tournaments. Number one. Number two, you can make way more money creating and inventing your own games. You can just go to the tournaments and have fun. Who cares if you lose or not? I mean, we've all gotten our asses whipped at a video game. For me, it was Killer Instinct. I remember this was when arcades was still around. I went to play some Killer Instinct, and I just started learning how to play. And you always got these guys kind of wait in the shadows, waiting for somebody to drop a quarter in the machine, and they'll run up, drop a quarter in the machine, because the objective is to just knock you off as fast as they possibly can, in which case you wasted a quarter, because if you didn't know how to play or you weren't good enough, you just got your ass kicked. So we've all been there. We've been playing good old Xbox or good old PlayStation, and if you're playing WWE or you're playing basketball, you're playing football, and there's somebody who's just better than you, just absolutely hands you your ass playing a video game. And do you get up and start shooting up the joint because you lost? You practice and you get better, and you go back and you whoop the person's ass who whooped you. Tekken was great, when it came to that. You could just issue some beat downs with Tekken, because if you knew how to chain those combos together, you could literally dissect somebody without even throwing a punch. that's just how it is, man. Some people get so good at these video games, they are practically untouchable when it comes to competition. So if you're not ready to get your ass whooped, then you sit up in the stands and you watch the people who can play. But this jackass shot 4 people to death and injured 11 people. He took his own life. And, this is where I'd be a strong advocate for cloning. When people do stuff this stupid, clone them, bring them back to life so you whoop their ass and execute them. Then put them in a grave next to themselves. To do something this stupid over a video game. For those of you out there who kind of think like this guy, they're called girls. Get into them. They're a lot more fun than video games. Is it mental? We will never know if the guy was mentally unstable. We'll never know if the guy was just pissed off because he lost. I don't know how much money was at stake with the Madden tournament and these things. If you're good at video games, man, you can make a killing at these tournaments. I realized what I just said, and that was a really bad pun given the circumstances. I didn't mean it to come out like that. I just was not aware of what I just said. So that was a bad pun. I don't know, man. Just a shame, man. You can't do anything nowadays. You can't go out and have fun anymore. You can't just go out and with white males, they like to shoot up schools and shoot up Madden tournaments, and with black males, you like to shoot up your neighborhoods and just shoot anything moving. It's just ridiculous, man. And Florida, you better get some better gun legislation on the books. A person like this, if you are this unstable, when it comes to your mental capacity, you should have no access to firearms. It is your constitutional right to have a shotgun in your house. It stays in the house. So if you're playing Madden at your house and you're getting your ass whooped, then everybody better get out of that house as quick as you can, because clowns like this going to start shooting up the joint. As long as you have weak gun legislation, you're going to have these problems, number one. And number two, how this guy snuck a gun into this tournament. Well, it's a video game tournament. Other than shooting each other and doing things, on screen, who would think to bring a gun, that somebody's going to bring a gun into someplace like that? But if you brought a gun into that tournament, then that means you kind of premeditated this, which means if you lost, you already knew what you were going to do. So in my opinion, it is domestic terrorism. It was preconceived. You planned it out. You went. The outcome was you lost at Madden, and then you started shooting the place up. And, like most cowards, you take the coward's way out by shooting yourself. But, just absolutely ridiculous, man. Get some better sense when it comes to dealing with certain things. Video games are supposed to you're supposed to have fun. With video games, you're supposed to have fun at video game tournaments. You are not supposed to go and get so pissed off because you lose that you shoot up the place and ruin it for everyone else. Whether this place will, this particular tournament, whether it'll be back in the Florida area remains to be seen. But, goes without saying, people are going to stay away just out of fear of getting shot because the next idiot is going to lose at Madden or lose at whatever video game they're competing with and decide to take it out on everybody else because they suck playing video games. So absolutely ridiculous. This is KTM and the Wake Up Report saying think a little bit. It will do wonders for you.